Now, hear this one. Local government should receive direct funding, primarily because it enhances accountability, efficiency, and transparency. It enables them to address specific local needs and deliver essential services more effectively. In July 2024, recall that the Apex Court, that's the Supreme Court, delivered a remarkable judgment directing that the share of federation account be paid directly to them. But a scandalized Supreme Court has expressed dissatisfaction with the federal government's failure to implement its pronouncement. The development is provoked by a suit filed by the Osun State government seeking to compel the AGF Attorney General to release withheld allocation to local governments in the state. In a split decision of 6-1, the Supreme Court held that the Attorney General of Osun lacked the locus to file the suit in the first place. BKO, I know that one of the underpinning requirements for a healthy democracy is respect for rule of law.
Yes, in this case, let's even put the Osun suit aside. The Apex Court in our country gave
a pronouncement,
a ruling, a judgment. And that judgment must be obeyed.
Binding, yeah.
The executive must do whatever it takes. When I talk about the executive, I'm talking about the president and the governors.
Yeah.
Must do whatever it takes to give effect to the pronouncement made by
the Supreme Court.
We were all happy when they made that pronouncement. We all want the local governments. They are the closest to the grassroots. We all want them to be more effective, to be more accountable, and to be more empowered to deliver the dividends of democracy. We've seen it even here in Lagos. Remember, where they have resources.
The other day we talked about the Lagos Island man.
Yes. And other chairmen who have used the resources at their disposal to work for the people. A situation in which governors would not release funds spent for local governments to them in the name of a so-called joint account.
Yeah.
I once told the story of a local government chairman who burst into tears when they told him that this is what you have for the month.
Hi.
And if we confront them, they make sure you are impeached. They will use your councillors against you. They make sure you are impeached. If we want to show respect to our constitution, then, and the pronouncement of the Supreme Court, then these people should have access to the funds.
Yeah.
Circumventing the decision of the Supreme Court through the joint account is just not right. It's just not right. Governors still see local governments as appendages, as if they work under them. A local government chairman that emerged through an election, you just suspend him, and you don't have the power. The Supreme Court has ruled that no governor has the power to remove an elected local government chairman.
Yeah, because he's elected like him.
So it's bad politics for us to see a judgment like this and not implement it. It's not good for those judges. They can't be happy because something led to them
taking that decision.
Yes. Now they're taking the decision, which in my view is good for us as a nation. Now they are not giving effect to it. Maybe because there is a very strong lobby and all that. Mr. President has to do what is right.
Yeah. Give
effect to this decision, because the judges were saying they have not seen evidence that the Attorney General of the Federation is doing anything to ensure that this judgment is implemented.
Mayor, and of course, you cannot forget the fact that local governments are charged with keeping primary schools going. They have local government roads. They're in charge of cemeteries and stuff like that. And primary health centers. Traditional institutions. They also have a bag.
Let me start by saying that if we believe that we are practicing democracy, then we should practice it properly. Because the foundation of democracy is the rule of law.
That's it.
So if we decide not to follow the rule of law, then what we are practicing is not democracy. Because if the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, make a pronouncement, it is binding. It is not for government to decide whether they want to accept that law or not. It is binding.
Do you remember?
But what we have found is that the executive they pick and choose what they want to obey. That should not be. But that's not democracy.
I was going to say, do you recall that late President Muhammadu Buhari, bless his soul, invoked...
Was it not the executive that instituted the suit in the first place?
Executive Order number 10 to give effect to this. And the Supreme Court said, no, do it properly.
Yes, because you see, the problem that we have is that to do it, because it is the executive through the joint finance committee that shares the monthly allocation, that can pay money to those things. So the executive still has the power to do that. But the governors don't want
Joint account committee.
Joint account committee, because the governors don't want that. And it is the governors that frustrated this law from being effected. This order of the court from being effected. Because a lot of states, through this joint committee, through this joint account, just take over the money when the local government comes and decides what they are going to give. In fact, in some states, it's so bad that they use the money for other things. And this local government chairman could not do anything about it. So they are the ones that frustrated the system from giving effect to this law. But like I said, if we claim that we are doing democracy, then we must practice democracy. We must, because the foundation is the rule of law. So if the Supreme Court, the highest court in the land, now says, pay directly to this local government so that they can have a different, that should be a line charge that is different from the state. I think everybody must comply. If we don't do that, then we're not practicing democracy. What is difficult in paying
directly to them?
It's because the governors frustrated it. They don't want it.
All right, folks. So there's a choice now before the federal government. Give effect.
The Attorney General of the Federation.
Give effect to the pronouncement of the apex court.
Yes.
There's nothing. We don't.
They wanted local government autonomy. Now it has come in form of a judgment of the highest court in our land. That has to happen. And the Attorney General of the Federation knows what to do to give effect to the pronouncement of the Supreme Court.
It should advise Mr. President that is what they need to do. They have to tell the governors that they have to obey the order of the court.
And it begs the question, does the everyday man understand who the enemy of democracy is as we sit here?
Of course they know. Of course they know. But you see, there's certain times there's a limit to what you can do. If people refuse to take orders or take effect to
Mayor, we must go. But the backroom boys are saying I should thank you for your intervention.
Thank you.
And BKO, they said I should say...
Since you are in love with this
enjoy your party.
Yes, I'm going to enjoy the party.
Okay. BKO, they say I should thank you for your mediation too.
Thank you so much. They did also say that I should thank you.
And that I should also thank
yourself.
TVC on the award. May you do it again.
Again and again.
Okay, folks, that's it on the program Journalists Hangout on Sunday. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode that's slated for 5 p.m. You may watch a repeat broadcast of this particular episode tonight at 11:30. We are also on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. And so on behalf of everybody here, I'm saying thank you. Bye-bye now. Take care.